and so that would be a reduction in taxes for the local taxpayers. So we're assured by the county and the state that our services will not suffer. We'll have the same, if not better, services supplied to us. The county contracts out for it.
The next step is for the legislature to approve the deorganization. For those traveling to northern Aroostook County, traffic may soon be easier to handle. Consultants from the Department of Transportation have been in Presque Isle all week collecting data to determine the best route for a proposed bypass around the Star City.
And you try to find a way in which you can route traffic to where it wants to go the easiest and most efficiently. Coupled on top of that, all the environmental factors, all the growth factors of the town. Which way does the city want to grow? Where does it want to grow? Why does it want to grow? After we got all that, like I said, we end up with at least where is the best optimum location. And we come up with what we call as a base study report.
And finally, the month of March has been named Flood Awareness Month, and emergency management directors from all across the state are getting prepared for the spring thaw and all of the flooding.
Well, in Aroostook County, we basically just monitor the Aroostook River Basin and make sure that there's no real problems as far as ice jams and flooding along the river. Particular areas that we're concerned with are the low-lying areas such as Fort Fairfield, some areas in Fort Kent, the Crossville area.
And that's a look at the Week in Review.
Saturday night at 7 o'clock on WAGM TV8. It's the boys and girls Class A High School State Basketball Finals. Brought to you by Key Bank, Classic Coke and your local Coca-Cola bottler, Grant's Dairy, it's gotta be Grant's Naturally, CarQuest Auto Parts Store, Ashland, Caribou, Mars Hill, and Presque Isle, True Value Hardware, your store of first choice, Shop and Save stores where you find lower prices all the time, and by these Anderson window dealers. Come home to Anderson and Bangor Savings.
I'm Pastor Mark Dunphy with my wife, Debbie. We're standing right here in front of Full Gospel Assembly in Mars Hill. We want to invite you to watch Headed to Heaven every Sunday morning at 8:30 on WAGM TV. We have kids and more kids singing, and I'll have a message from God's Word just for you. 8:30 Sunday mornings, Headed to Heaven on WAGM TV.
Spring officially starts on the 20th of March, but we can now take a look at what kind of weather we had this winter. How can we do that? Well, meteorologically speaking, what happens is December, January, and February are the winter months. And first up, we'll take a look at average temperatures for this past winter. I think most people have a good idea of what this winter included. It was very cold temperatures, and certainly December, the coldest by far, 3.5-degree average temperatures, over 12 degrees below normal. The coldest December on record at Caribou and the second coldest month of all time, so very cold weather. But we went the other way in January. 17.3-degree average temperature was nearly 7 degrees above normal. In fact, it was the second warmest January on record. February then back below normal, and for the entire winter, our average temperature was under 11 degrees, about 2.5 degrees below normal. So yes, it was a cold winter. In fact, at Caribou, 49 times we fell below zero. We had 3 record lows, but strangely enough, though, there were 5 record highs in there as well. Well, enough of temperatures. Let's take a look at precipitation. On this graphic, the figures in white represent snowfall totals. In green, melted precipitation. What you see there, 38 inches of snow in December, 14 inches above normal. That was helped out by the 21-inch snowfall at Caribou on the 3rd and 4th of the month, the 4th all-time heaviest snow for one storm. But otherwise, December was kind of dry, as you see the melted precipitation over 0.8 of an inch below normal. January then was snowy and wet. The snowfall totals 27 inches, 3 inches above normal. The total precipitation, 3.36 inches melted. That's an inch above normal. February then back on the dry side, 19 inches of snow, 1.84 inches of melted precipitation for the entire winter. 84 inches of snow, that's 14 above normal, so it was also a snowy winter. Melted precipitation just about at normal, about 7.6 inches. Well, so much for winter. This is the National Weather Service outlook for the next 90 days, which of course would include March, April, and May. This should give us a good idea of what spring will hold. It looks like we'll have slightly below normal temperatures up here. That doesn't sound like such good news until you consider that by the end of May, the average high temperature here will be 67 degrees, the average low of 45, so maybe we'll be a little bit below normal, but so what? It's going to be considerably warmer than we've had recently. Precipitation-wise, we should be at normal, which means we should have somewhere around 7.9 inches of rain the next 3 months, and we could still pick up 30 inches of snow normally. March has 20 inches of snow, and then another 10 in April and May combined, so we may still have to use those snow shovels. But for now, that's as much as we can tell about this particular spring season. Let's hope it turns out for the best. Here in the Weather Center for Channel 8 News, I'm meteorologist Kevin Carter.
The Loring Alert, brought to you by Presque Isle Volkswagen Mazda.
If you'd like to learn cross-country skiing this winter, call Denise for lessons at 999-2432 and set up an appointment. The Base Teen Center opened recently and now has a variety of social activities and programs for young people on base. For more information and the March calendar of events, call 999-3183 after 4:30 p.m. If you need a passport photo before going overseas, call the Arts and Crafts Center at 999-2640. That's going to do it for the Loring Alert. I'm Airman Dave Bartlett from the Loring Office of Public Affairs.
According to the Power Report, Mazda trucks were rated for the 4th year in a row as most trouble-free. Check it out at Presque Isle Volkswagen Mazda.
Deering Frozen Yogurt for taste watchers and waist watchers. America's best tasting health food in 5 delicious flavors. We're so proud of it, we guarantee your satisfaction or your money back.
When you take Deering Swiss chocolate ice cream and add delicious pieces of brownies and crunchy cashews, you have a great limited edition ice cream. We call it Brownie Nut Fudge. You'll think it's spectacular.
Now taking a look at our temperature comparisons for the day. Today's high was 50 degrees with our low being 14. The normal for this time of the year is 31 for a high and 12 for a low. Record temperatures for Caribou in 1977, a high of 55 degrees was recorded, and in 1939, a low of 16 below zero. What a difference compared to today. Last year, we saw a high of 33 degrees and a low of 9. Current conditions at this hour in Caribou, the temperature is 45 degrees, humidity is at 43%, the barometer is at 30 inches and is falling. Winds are out of the south at 10 miles per hour. There was no precipitation recorded today in the Caribou area. The sun will rise at 5:53 and set at 5:32. Taking a look at the forecast for the county, tonight, cloudy skies with a 30% chance of rain or flurries with lows between 25 and 30. Expect a light southwesterly winds. Tomorrow, sunny with temperatures in the 40s, winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And tomorrow night, clear with temperatures in the 20s. And for Monday, sunny with temperatures reaching 50 degrees. It's going to be an unbelievable weekend for the weather. And that is it for this edition of the news. I'm Ed Walsh. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you again next Saturday. For Rainey and Kevin, have a nice night, everybody.
watching WAGM TV 8.
Live from the Bangor Auditorium, Channel 5 Sports presents the Class A basketball tournament. In tonight's first game, it's the girls' Eastern Maine Final, as the Presque Isle Wildcats take on the Coney Rams. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bangor Auditorium. I'm Tim Throckmorton, along with Mike Hale and Willie Gavitt for tonight's activity. Getting ready to start game number one, a rematch of last year. Willie, what does Presque Isle have to do to turn things around this time?
I think the thing they have to be consistent with is that the number of turnovers they've had in the past, they have to cut down. Anytime you have two teams of this caliber, and you're talking about the Eastern Maine Finals in Class A now, they didn't get here by luck. Regardless of which team ends up winning or which team ends up losing, it's simply going to be a question of who makes the fewer mistakes or who capitalizes on those mistakes when they have an opportunity.
Presque Isle may choose to work it underneath to Carrie Eaton. She had a big game last year in the Eastern Maine Final, but Coney has their secret weapon, Mike.
They're coming in with a Coney tradition, and they have Megan Lane had a record-setting 38 points in the semifinal, and it will be interesting to see what Presque Isle does on the defense against Megan Lane and Coney overall, and it's nice to have a rematch of last year. Look forward to it.
Last year it was Coney by 17 over Presque Isle. This year we're knotted up 0 right now. A big game coming up. We'll be back to talk with the coaches in 2 minutes.
The president of Executone Systems of Maine talks about buying phones for your business.
You're making a 5 to 10 year investment. You've got to take a look at these other companies, find out where they are, what their commitment is to you. You don't need to buy a phone system and 5 years from now find out they're not here to take care of your phone system. But we've been in Maine with a Maine commitment since 1972, and that is the longest of anyone in the interconnect business in the state of Maine today.
Executone, the nationwide business phone company, in the yellow pages under telephones.
If you're interested in having your cholesterol level tested, the visiting nurses of Aroostook can do this at your workplace or at one of their community clinics. For more information, call 498-2578 or toll free at 1-800-439-1685.
The folks at Northeast Auto in Caribou have a large selection of new Pontiacs, Buicks, and GMC trucks. They'll help you find the right car to suit your needs and lifestyle. Northeast Auto points with pride to their service team trained by Mr. Goodwrench. Northeast Auto in Caribou, nice folks to do business with.
So, did you bring the Coca-Cola Classic? Billy was supposed to. Not me!
Michael!
Michael! Billy forgot the Coca-Cola Classic! Coming right up!
Can't beat it! Yes! From a Coca-Cola Classic!
That's my Michael!
Can't beat the real thing!
Our dairy farmers get up very early to bring you the freshest, best-tasting milk possible. Maine milk from Grant's Dairy. Grant's is dedicated to quality. It takes hard-working men and women and their cows to meet our high standards.
Almost time for my breakfast, Darcy.
At mealtime, nothing tastes better than a wholesome, refreshing glass of Grant's milk. At Grant's, we take pride in our work. You can taste the difference.
Thanks, girls. As always, you did a fine job.
Naturally.
If you're looking for a rotor or a windshield wiper motor, yeah, you'll find it at CarQuest.
Maine CarQuest Auto Parts Stores team up with Ford Motor Company and Motorcraft Quality Parts for the 1990 Probe Sweepstakes. You could win a Ford Probe at CarQuest, no purchase necessary.
Take it from Roy Clark and the repairmen. If it's a really tough part, then don't lose heart. Yeah, you'll find it at CarQuest.
Everyone's a part of your hometown. Someone you know
local charm.